Had this long ass conversation with a Christian, and I see this kind of comment on many other pages that I actually do follow, where a person would say, a Christian would say, oh, I bet you wouldn't say anything about Islam. Or why don't you say anything about Islam? You're afraid of saying something about Islam because then you're Islamophobe and you might get tagged, or you're afraid of them that they may harm you or do something to you. I don't give a shit about the threat that somebody may harm me or being labeled an Islamophobe or whatever. As I explained to this one Christian, the reason why I don't talk about Islam as much, I only talk about the little bit of Islam that I do know, because it's been 30 years since I studied Islam. The reason why I only talk about a little bit of Islam, beyond the fact that I don't know much about Islam, that's the main reason. I don't know a lot about it. I know enough about it to walk away from it. Just the mere fact that it comes from the Abrahamic religions is enough reason for me to walk away from it. The fact that they hold as part of their book the Old Testament is enough reason for me to walk away from Islam. So that in itself was enough. Muhammad being with a little 14-year-old girl, that's enough. Islam saying that it's okay for you to have slaves, and even though you're supposed to make a way for your slaves to gain their freedom, the fact that their book allows you to have slaves, that's enough. The way that they treat women, that's enough. The fact that they endorse their trans-Sahara slave trade, that's enough. I don't need much else to walk away from Islam, to which I did after only studying it for a year, because there was nothing there for me that identified itself as being the truth of some deity, because at that time frame I was still looking for a deity to believe in, a deity to worship. And it wasn't until later that I realized that if a deity requires my worship, then that deity cannot be the creator or the all, or this, or for lack of a better term, God. So I had no need. I have no need. And like I said in the beginning of this video, I didn't study Islam as long. The main reason why I didn't study Islam until I was about 20 years old is because I grew up Christian. I was born in America. I was born at a time frame where the overwhelming majority of people around me, the community, the government, was Christian based. And so for me, I walked away and deconstructed from Christianity. So my main focus, therefore, would remain to be Christianity. I spent decades studying Christianity. I had a great desire to be Christian. So therefore, once I deconstructed, Christianity is the religion that I'm going to talk about the most, because it's the one that I know the most. It's the one that I grew up with. It's the one that most of my family members are, most of my friends, people I associate with, people I see on a daily basis. I'm sure that if I grew up in Saudi Arabia or the UAE or Qatar, I would feel that way about Islam and not talk about Christianity as much. But if you go and you search, you will find plenty of people who have deconstructed from Islam, and they're breaking Islam down so that people of the same mindset will gird themselves up and make themselves stronger to be able to maintain their distance from that religion. And they're not afraid. Just like I'm not afraid of Christians, they're not afraid of Muslims. I don't know what else to tell you. But you got to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.